Winning blackjack for the serious player, Edwin Silverstein. And continuing where I was, where the security guard stood nearby. New deck, new deal. The woman waited for Pete, who played with his 2 checks. Then he put both of them out. He got a 10 and 7, and the dealer showed a 5 as her up card. Pete stood, and the dealer turned over a 6. Jesus, said Pete softly. The dealer separated the cards, then, taking her time, dealt herself a 4 for a hard 15, then a 7 and busted. The deck was +2, and Pete bet all 4 checks. He got 10, 9, and faced the dealer's 5. He stood, and she turned over an 8 for a 13, then dealt herself a 4 for 17. Pete now had 8 checks. The count was +3. She stood waiting for him to make a decision, and Pete put out all 8 checks. The crowd had started to fill out again, and I could hear the buzz behind me. The dealer hesitated, then dealt out the cards. Pete got 2 10s, and the dealer showed an ace. Insurance, she asked softly. Pete took a deep breath, then slowly shook his head. The dealer turned over the whole card. It was another ace. She dealt herself a 3rd ace, then a 10. She had a hard 13 and busted with a king. Pete now had 16 checks. The dealer reshuffled. Pete cut the cards, and the top one was burned. She waited for him to remove checks or stack them up, but he said deal. She moved to straighten out his checks, but he said leave them alone, you're bad luck. She turned toward the pit boss, who had been watching all the time. He nodded. She dealt the cards. Her up card was an 8. Pete played with his closed cards the way a poker player would, shuffling them in his hand at random. The dealer said, only one hand, you can't hold them in 2 hands. Pete looked at her, his eyes cold, and turned over one of his cards. It was the ace of spades. Snapper, he said, and then turned over the other card. It was a jack of spades. Snapper it is. He waited while she paid off the bet. 24 more checks. He now had 40 grand in front of him.